Hey everyone, Cynthia Maynard, and the Stamps of Life, and it was part of the monthly subscription. It was the second one I've gotten, and it's the Hedgehog 2 stamp set. So it's really cute, and it has lots of fun little sayings. So I'm using this guy here. I just stamped him with some archival ink from Ranger that is permanent, so that when I use my distress inks over him, he will it won't smudge the black. So I've just got a couple shades. I've got Vintage Photo and Walnut Stain, and I'm just going to take a makeup sponge and go ahead and go over him. I'm going to use the lighter one for the middle, and I'm not being real exact here, as you can see, because I'm and I'm going to be cutting him out, fussy cutting him, so I'm not too worried about the outsides here. You could also use, watercolor markers or pencils or whatever you have. Cut him out. Part of his little bottom is going to be covered in some leafage there, so I'm not worried about getting everything super exact down there. Dies for these. So I do not have them, but if you had them, obviously you could, instead of cutting this with a scissor, just use your dies. Get this white where I was sort of, make it look like I didn't just cut it out with scissors. And just go back on there like so. A little barn door. I'm just going to take the tip, barely, I said barely, and then, because I made him look like he got kissed with lipstick, I'm just going to remove some of that with some paper towel. Kind of rub that out. And I am, by the way, doing this on watercolor paper, and so it makes him kind of look like he's blushing a little bit. Orange, a very subtle background since he had a lot of detail, and my fronds and things. So I'm just kind of trying to, like he's playing around in the grass and bushes, and you can layer these. There's lots of cute ones here. Will You Be My Friend, Sending Hedgehogs, and I think I'm going to go with the Sending Hedgehogs. And so I'm going to go ahead and stamp that out. And by the way, I'm using this Die Cuts with a View Citrus Matte Stack. This is one that's a little bit older, a couple years old, so I found it in my stash. So I'm using some coordinating papers from there. This is like almost distressed looking, very cream and yellow light color. And then this has the orange and blue and the green to pick up the leaves. And I'm going to put that behind there. And then I'm going to cut this down a little bit because this is a little bit big. So I'm going to set him aside. I'm pretty happy with that scenario there. And I'm going to cut this down. Alright, so I'm starting to piece together with some different papers from the pack. I've got this that I had some, apparently, I think it was for my Sunday school girls, had cut out with decorative edge scissors, so I cut a little piece to have that kind of be my floor that blends into the orange. And so for our sentiment, I'm going to go ahead and stamp on this, like I said earlier. And leave room to punch around that. It's a die cut, you could use a punch. I think I'm just going to go ahead and maybe I'll use some decorative scissors because I found them the other day and I want to try them out. These are from EK Success and they've got the pattern on them there. And so I'm going to go ahead and try that out. So, yeah. And I think I might do the edges in our brown to kind of tie in our little hedgehog there. I'm going to use the lighter one, which is the Vintage Photo. And just kind of getting all those little nooks and crannies. Or you could do it in the black. Whatever colors you've got going on there. You might have completely different colors. Okay. Now I'll just help it pop out a little bit And trying to decide. So first let's do it in layers here. So let's adhere our little guy down here. Normally I'd center it, but because we're putting that bottom on there, we're not going to see that anyway, so you might as well see a little more peeking out there. Go ahead and put our strip on. Make sure our edges are okay. Fun colors. And then we have our little hedgehog. So he's going to be about here. I have to lay these out again because I don't want to put him in the wrong spot. Is this where I had him? Should have taken a picture. That is a tip though, you know, if you lay everything out and take a picture of it, then you won't have this problem there. So I'm going to put him about there. It's okay if he's, you know, it doesn't have to be so strategic. Okay. Hedgehogs are so cute. And then to adhere our larger fronds, I'm just going to go ahead and use adhesive down by the bottom half here. Fine tip applicator. I don't have mine working yet. I did get one. So I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to take a mini glue dot and roll that up. And my thumb. And you've got sort of, you know, you have a few spots that you can pick that are a little bit thicker, like there, and then there's this leaf up here. Some dimension when we layer like that. So I'm making a couple more off here. And just rolling them in my fingers. Gotta make do. Make sure it's going in the correct direction. And this is from Stampin' Up, the Botanical Builders, I believe it is called. I could be wrong about that. There's a lot of botanical names. I have a lot of the flowery stuff there. So, but anyway, it's a great die set from Sizzix for Stampin' Up, and you can do a lot with these things. I have a video about how I made a lady's dress with the larger one of this frond there, so that was kind of fun. He's kind of cute. A tropical feel that's in right now with flamingos and things. So instead we've got a hedgehog. And I think I might put this up on a little bit of a foam adhesive. That way we got 4 out of our big honkin' squares there. So just take the backings off. I like using foam. I don't know if it makes me, it just makes me think I'm like back in school in art class. There's something about foam, sticky foam, and making things pop in 3D. That's just kind of fun. Alright. So we're just going to kind of put that right there. We made one, so I just chose the cream because I felt like it went best with our orange and everything. I like how that turned out. It's kind of cute. And then we're going to just use our bone folder to crease that. But use whatever you've got. Even if you have a sheet of foam, you can also cut that into little bits and use that as well. You know, the sticky back foam sheets that you can get at the craft stores for really cheap. So if you want to make your own foam squares, which is probably what I should have done instead of paying for them when I already have foam. And then we can just center that, make sure we're opening the correct direction here. And we're just going to center that on our card base, just like so. And then on the inside, you can kind of customize that. So, you know, it says sending hedgehogs on the outside, so we can say, do you need a hug? I'm sending one. Do you need one? Okay, so let's switch this out. Well, that didn't turn out very well, did it? Take some of the cardstock you have had, and you, of course I stamped down on the poofy part, and then you cut it out with your scissors and make it look like you did it on purpose. And then you adhere it over your mistake. Keeping it real, folks. Keeping it real. I could have inked the sides of that, you know. That would have been really made it look like I did it on purpose. Oh well. Okay. We'll quit while we're ahead. And then, or maybe not. Let's see if we can mess up the envelope. Okay. So we've got the envelope there. And what else do they have in our stamp set here? We can... these little hearts. Maybe one on the back. Yeah. And it just gives it a little extra something special. We all go through rough times. It's nice to let people know you're thinking of them. Alright, look how that turned out. Has dimension, he's cute. Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully you like it too. Hopefully it inspires you to use your little hedgehog stamps or whatever you've got, little animals that you have lurking about in your craft room. Alright guys, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Cheer me on for covering my mistake. And go ahead and if you're new, subscribe to my channel. And thanks so much for spending time. Hope to speak to you soon.